Hey there, welcome to NZ Money Karma, where you can find freedom from the daily grind through budgeting, simple living, and adventure. Before I start with today's video, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. Getting 1,000 subscribers is a real milestone, and I'm super happy about that. So thanks so much. I've gone from having not much time to myself at all to having quite a lot of time to myself, which feels really crazy. Last night, what I did was stay up really late and I tried on every single item that I own that's in my drawers and wardrobe and kind of thought, what will work and what doesn't, what still fits me well, what doesn't. And I had two things that I thought, oh, these aren't right anymore, but I think I can make them right. And one of them is this pair of cords, which used to hang quite low on my hips and now kind of sits more around my waist. Um, and I thought, how can I make these work? And I just decided to chop them off and make them kind of sit just above my ankles so that I can wear them just with little ankle boots. So that's what I kind of cracked on with this morning, bright and early. It was the first thing I did as soon as I got up. Yeah, it just felt good to, I guess when you've got the house to yourself, you don't have to worry about noisy sewing machines and things like that. Yep, I broke the needle. It was not a great start, but I was actually really relieved to find some sitting in the bottom of my sewing kit that I could replace them with. Unfortunately, I don't really know how to read kind of what needle I'm using. I don't know if it's a big one or a little one or whatever. But when I went to replace this and then try and rethread it, I don't know if it was just the very early morning light or the fact that I was using black cotton, but I found it, or that the eye of the needle is just really tiny, but I found it extremely hard to thread that needle. And I ended up having to go, I know, have maybe 3 or 4 goes before I got it through the eye. And I felt like it was a real stab in the dark, but I was pretty determined to get these pants finished because I had two ideas about what I wanted to do today. And I wanted to wear those black pants along to the things that I was going to do. Um, and yeah, at this stage, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. I was just thinking, get the pants finished and then crack on with the rest of the day. Yep, third or fourth time is a charm. There we go. All ready to carry on and finish those pants. I also have a dress that I'm going to be taking up. Um, it's a 3/4 length dress, which has probably never looked very good on me, but the top cut looks really good. Do you know what I mean? So the neckline and the arms look nice, but the skirt has never been a great fit or length. I'm really short, and having a mid-calf dress is not very flattering. And I'm not sure why I haven't realized this until last night, but I realized it. And I thought, what could I do? Because I really like the dress. It fits well otherwise. And I am having a year where I only make the things that I want to wear, and I didn't want to remake anything. So I thought, why don't I just chop that off as well? But I didn't get to that today. Time to get on and do some chores. The dogs move from one bed to another. I'm just giving myself a bit of grace as I get used to my new routine of not being quite as busy as I have been in the past. Taking it a wee bit slower. There were lots of jobs to do today, but I chose just to do a couple of them so that my day would be relaxing, and I wouldn't feel at all stressed. I just have to accept that I'm no longer in a position where I have to get everything done today. I can wait, I can do some more tomorrow. Um, So while I was folding the washing, I was just having a little bit of a think about what I want to get done today and what activity I'm going to do. But before I get onto that, I realize that I'm missing some socks, and I'm thinking, where can those socks be? Because they're not in my pile. It was a little bit windy last night, so I thought, oh, maybe they've actually just flown off the clothes rack and they're just sitting in the garden somewhere. That often happens. Or perhaps when I was bringing them inside last night, I've dropped something. So I'm just going outside here to have a little look around, just a peek in the garden. These are the normal places where I might find rogue socks. This is our little peach tree, and I notice a few peaches that haven't been picked. And I think, oh, actually, it's probably breakfast time. Why don't I have one for breakfast? So I do. They're delicious. Absolutely delicious. No, I'm not finding any socks in all the places where I would normally find socks. Sometimes I've even found them outside on the street, but I had already looked out my gate and I couldn't see any there, so that was lucky. So I'm just going to head back inside. You can see the garden there, it's been dug over, so there's lots of gaps now. There I go through the garden, and while I'm walking, something catches my eye. Can you see that there? There's a tiny cucumber, and I think, oh, crikey, I've missed a cucumber. So I'm in there to harvest that, and then while I'm there, I realise I've missed two cucumbers, so it's a good surprise. Then I start to think, oh, what else have I missed? There's probably lots of things in here. It's getting colder now, so the tomatoes aren't likely to really ripen up too much more. So I pick a couple of tomatoes as well, and I'll just put them on the windowsill inside, and then they'll ripen up nicely. You can see there's still quite a few green tomatoes. When I need the space, I'll pull them out, and I'll just hang them upside down in the garage, and they'll ripen on the roots from there. So that'll be, I don't know, it's nice to have a couple of red tomatoes, isn't it? Right at the end of autumn. So that's my little tiny harvest. I've decided what I'm doing now, and I am going to take along a lunch with me because I think, oh, perhaps I'll be hungry while I'm out and about. I've only had a peach for breakfast. So I think, oh, I'm making myself just a very plain Marmite and cheese sandwich along with a couple of bits that I've already baked. I've decided today to head over to the library book sale. Now, this happens, I think, just once a year in Christchurch, and it's normally huge. I haven't been for a couple of years. I remember it being really good when the kids were a wee bit smaller, and they had, I think we must have been there when we were homeschooling, first thing in the morning when it just opened up. And I remember there just being so many good books. We just went absolutely crazy. And I'm kind of hoping for the same thing this year, but only for myself. Unfortunately, I'm not there on the first day, first thing. I'm going to be there kind of midway through the day on the second day. The advertising assures me that they don't put all the good books out all at the same time and that they, continue to restock and put them out throughout both days. So if I'm lucky, I might be able to nab a couple of good bargains. They're normally $2 or $3 for a book and $1 for a kid's book. I have some specific things that I'm looking for, and I've written them down on my list. I want to kind of stick to the plan and not be distracted just by lots of cheap books that might be there. Of course, on the flip side, I could get there and there could be nothing. I'm not sure, but I am pretty hopeful. Last year, even a friend gave me a really lovely book that she'd got at the book sale that she knew I'd like. So I'm hopeful that there's going to be at least something on my list there today. Biking would be my preference, but unfortunately, when my family left to go away on their little weekend break, every single set of keys that has a garage door key on it has gone, so I can't get a lock. So my bike has no lock, so I can't take it across the other side of town and just leave it outside the library book sale. I can guarantee it wouldn't be there when I come out. So unfortunately, I have to take the bus today. While I'm standing at the bus stop, I end up having some really nice conversations with a couple of people, and the bus driver's really friendly, so it kind of is nice to take the bus. Heading into the city, you can have a look here. This is Christchurch. You can still see earthquake damaged buildings. They haven't gone away in a hurry, have they? I make it to the book sale, and unfortunately, it's a real disappointment. I think most of the good books have been put out and have been bought. I walk around for ages, kind of picking out bits and bobs that look, somewhat interesting. There was even a home harvesting, kind of urban homesteading book that I had seen at the library just this past week, and I picked it up and thought, it's not really worth reading, and put it back again. And then for some reason, when I came to this library sale, I picked it up and went, oh, cool, there's that book. It's only $3. I should get that. So I walked around literally for an hour and a half. My arms were aching. I sat down here to review what I had. I culled down the pile to some that I thought I would like. And then I milled around for a wee bit longer, just hoping to spy that one book that I really liked. And it didn't happen. I didn't buy this book, but I wanted that recipe, so I did a copy of it. I don't know if that's naughty or not. I eventually gave up though and went, okay, this is not working, and I actually put them all back and left. So I thought I need to catch the bus back. I don't know what time it goes. I had planned to go out and just kind of sit in the park and read my books. But unfortunately, I didn't buy any, so I wasn't reading any books at all, and I just decided to eat my lunch at the bus stop. And this is where my story takes a turn for the worse. I go to get on the bus, and I know this already because I have already caught the bus, but my card doesn't have enough money on it. It's already in the negative by 20 cents. No worries, I think. This hasn't really happened to me before, so I think in my head what's going to happen is that it will just deduct the $2 it costs to take the bus, and next time I top up my card, it's going to take off the 220. That's not what happens, just in case you're ever here and think that might happen. No, what happens is the bus driver says, you don't have enough money for your fare, you're walking. So off I was. I've missed this sign here. What it says is 4.2 k's to the city centre. And you can see I was actually in a real grumpy mood after this. You can see I'm walking really fast because I was like, I am so mad. Where's the kindness of humanity? Just, give me a ride back to the bus station and then I can top up. But luckily, while I was walking, I came across this really nice community garden. They had some not quite ripe grapes, but I picked a couple and they tasted nice still. And my grumpy mood was over. So I ate some grapes and had a really good look around the community garden. And I'm going to take you guys there. So let's have a look together. It feels like a little fun discovery, I reckon, when you find something that you're not expecting. And it was just what I needed. From here on in, I actually walk a whole heap slower because I'm in a better mood. When I was grumpy, I was kind of storming off, thinking in my head all the negative things, like it's not just one thing. Instantly, something goes wrong, and then I start thinking about all the other things that have gone wrong. Not today, but maybe 2 weeks ago, something that went wrong. And it just compounds and it makes my mood worse. So I don't know if it's just me or if it happens to other people, but I have to talk differently in my head and talk positively. And coming along to a nice garden, that helped me do that because I'm like, oh, look how nice the day is. Look how lovely those grapes are. Isn't that wonderful that someone planted them? Oh, look how everyone's working together to provide this nice community space. And all those thoughts create good feelings. You know, you change the way you think, you change the way you feel, don't you? So that's what works with me. So I'm just having a little nose through, and then I see this seat, and I still have a muffin in my lunchbox. And I think I'm going to just actually sit down and relax for 5 minutes, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the little arbor, and then carry on my journey. So here I am, still carrying on my journey, but I've made it to the city. And I am just across the road now from the bus interchange where I'm going to be able to top up my card and get the bus home. I could have walked, it's only another 3 k's from here, but my shoes weren't really the kind of shoes I would choose to be wearing if I was going to go for a decent sized walk. I didn't even know we had a double-decker bus like that here. Home sweet home. Nothing feels better, does it, than when you have a big day out, coming home, walking through your gate, and just that feeling of like, now I can take off these semi-uncomfortable shoes. The recipe I saw in that book at the library book sale was very, very timely because I have bought some liver to give to my dog, but he didn't like it. So I cooked up that recipe and thought, is he going to like it? I try it. He doesn't seem particularly keen, but then he gets into the spirit of things, and I think he does actually like it. So I've cooked up about 500 grams of liver into little biscuits. And then here's my sewing efforts. Another thing I also did today was repair this duvet. It had a big rip in it, and that is a rip from our dog. Getting on there and scratching it. It was a tiny rip, and I did nothing, and then it was a big rip. So it was good to get that one done. And now it's time to take my wee dog for a walk. He's been inside almost all day by himself, so he's really keen to get out and about. Getting pretty late now though, and whilst I have tons of jobs that I still could be doing, I just decide not to. I'm making this little slice and I'm going to take that to work tomorrow. It's getting late, and rather than doing another job and then another, I'm just giving myself permission to call it a day. I'm going to have a nice hot shower, get into bed nice and early, read a book so that I'm feeling tip top tomorrow when my alarm goes off at 5 o'clock. Thanks so much to everyone who's joined me today. I really appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye for now.